Okay, let me try. So we're rolling.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay. Good morning, afternoon or evening, splendid viewers. This is Guthrie Govan here from the band The Aristocrats. I'm here at the very majestic Club Cheetah in the vicinity of Tokyo. And today, as a very, very special treat for you all, I'm going to tell you some things related to Culture Clash. Okay, Culture Clash starts with this riff. There are things I would like to tell you about the riff, but I'll start just by playing it. If I play it very, very straight with no inflection at all. And it's supposed to be a little bit confusing. So when you first hear the riff, you don't really feel what the pulse is. And the secret is that there are two different pulses, both going on. So I'll loop it using my TC Ditto looper pedal. And two ways you can feel it are that kind of thing, so the main pulses would be there. And in fact the bass riff at the start like that. So that was the first way that you can interpret that riff, which I hear as a little bit of an African kind of 12/8, decadent, that kind of feel. But there's another way you can hear the riff, and it sounds different if you imagine a different pulse or a different beat. So if you imagine this, like 6/8. And now it feels different.
Yes, the feel is
So that was kind of the concept with this basic riff, to try and play with all the different interpretations of it. So I'll explain some of the other things that have happened to this riff. Here's one, and this will perhaps seem strange because of where I am, but the more we play this song, the more I want to give that riff a kind of an Eastern feel. So instead of just playing the notes straight, it's become more like this, which it doesn't sound like a real koto, but yeah. But there's one other trick, which is the riff can be reinterpreted one octave lower with more of a Hendrixy feel. And I'm scared to play too loud because your cameras will blow up. But I'll try and convey the feel with a clean sound. And whenever you throw in one of those chords, it refers to more of a blues rock tradition. Lead up to it with one pattern of the riff, but what you need to imagine is the bass doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So over that, the riff basically goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's do that bit again. That's a kind of jagged chromatic idea. It's the same idea. repeated like 3 semitones apart. So you have it in this key. So there's rhythmic displacement there because the basic idea is 5 notes long, but there are 6 beats in the bar. And I guess the other bit that guitar players like is this. And to me, that sounds more like a Korean pentatonic, you know. So it's based that in the middle of that lick, you're descending in groups of 4 notes. Sorry, but with the pulse of the music, that repetition of 4-note groups happens in an unexpected place. I'll try to explain the timing of that. Let's slow it down a bit with my... Okay. Two, three, four, five, 6. And you can finger that in 2 ways. You can play it all down here. But I find I can make it sound better at the speed of the actual song to go. Just get that note there. So that's good for this side of your hand. So I think that's all you need to know about the main verse. And then the next section, I guess the bridge, is based around so 2 different dominant 7th chords. It's because I'm a Beatles fan. Over that, this is what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to add a click again. It's not a perfect loop, it's good enough, close enough for rock and roll. And now so that's another surprise there, I guess. Every note happens between the beats. When Marco heard the demo, he decided this section sounded like the music from a chat show.
Chat show?
Yeah, like David Letterman or something. Whenever we were rehearsing the song, we would reach this next section and he'd go, "Ladies and gentlemen!" I hear what he means. I'm not offended. But I tried to make the chord voicing sound as big as possible here because we're only a trio. So I wanted some chordal information and a melody. So it comes out like this. 3, 4, 5, 6. I like that chord. And then fun parts of the song. You remember this riff? I will now put the riff back in the looper.
ルーパーに先のリフ入れたら。
Hopefully that sounds like an old friend now. But I discovered that you can put some kind of fusion flavoured chords over that.
この上にちょっと混乱させるコードのサウンドも入れます。
So again, you hear the riff in a different way.
けど違うように聞こえるように。
It's all part of the culture clash theme.
だからそのカルチャークラッシュっていうテーマなので。
So now, riff. Quite pleased with that because I didn't know you could play those chords over the riff when I wrote the riff. So if you wanted to play a solo over that, and I'm a guitar player, of course I want to play a solo over that.
ソロするときに
And there are 4 different chords, well 5 I guess, 5 chords. This one,
5つのコードで
which is basically a D flat major with B in the bass. So, and then
D フラ
that's like
は
a,
B で
this one is B flat, like an altered dominant. This is horrible to translate, perhaps. But it's like the Hendrix chord.
ヘッジみたいな感じのコードで
But down there. And then this, which is like an E, but with an A as the bass note.
A のベースで E
And then for the 4th quarter, it's just G sharp minor 7, going to whatever you want to call that.
今のなんていうコードわかりませんが
I hear that as, I guess, a D flat
D フラかな
major 6
Major 6
with the 5th in the bass. So,
でベースはフィス
so can I have some fun over this now? Just play for a minute. Is that all right?
ちょっと弾かして
So If I could offer you all one piece of advice, I guess it would be this. Try to figure out why you play music. Why do you spend all those hours with your guitar? What is the point? And once you know that, a lot of your other questions disappear. If you know why you're playing, it might be to write your own music, it might be so you can be in a band, it might just be for fun. It doesn't matter what your purpose is, but work out why you're playing. And then all the other questions, like what should I practice, how long should I practice, and all of this stuff, those questions will disappear because you will know precisely what it is that you're trying to achieve. I hope that's helpful. A bit of hippie philosophy. Use it wisely, my friends. And now, these fingers. Cheers.